She thought life would wait. That she could hit pause on everything. On us. And go find herself in cobblestone alleys with a glass of wine in one hand and her phone in the other. The plan was romantic, aesthetic. Soft sunsets, charming cafes, filtered photos captioned "Finding Myself," as if life was a neatly arranged gallery waiting for her return. She believed the world she left behind, our world, would sit still like a paused movie, ready to resume the moment she pressed play again. But while she was searching for herself in foreign cities, someone else, me, made a quiet decision too. Not out of spite. Not in a blaze of anger. Just a still, steady resolve. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg her to stay. I didn't plead to be chosen. I simply changed things, one step at a time, without ceremony, without warning. While she posed under foreign skies and smiled with people who made her feel unburdened, I was unmaking the life we'd built together. Only. Deliberately. Permanently. And when she finally came back, expecting to step into her old life like it was a pair of worn slippers, she didn't find a man licking his wounds. She found someone who had stopped waiting. Someone who had learned how to let go. Because sometimes strength isn't holding on. It's stepping aside. It's no longer waiting for someone who already left. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and share this story with someone who needs it. Drop a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. I read every one. Let's rewind. Let me tell you where it started. It was a Thursday. Nothing dramatic. We had just finished dinner. Roast chicken, salad, wine. I was rinsing plates, half distracted, when she said it, tone breezy like she was mentioning the weather. I'm thinking about taking a trip. Pause. A trip? Yeah, to Europe, she added, too lightly, over her shoulder. I stood there, dish in hand, water still running. By yourself? Not exactly, she said. Marissa and Lena are coming. But this is something I need to do. For me. Her voice wavered just enough to know she'd rehearsed it. Marissa and Lena. Recently single. Fresh off breakups and in full-blown reinvention mode. They weren't known for introspection or stillness. This wasn't a retreat. This was a release. A getaway disguised as self-discovery. I asked quietly, "What are you hoping to find over there that you haven't found here?" She dried her hands, finally meeting my gaze. "Ryan, I've never done anything just for me. I went from my parents' house straight into life with you. I need to figure out who I am again." We'd been married 4 years. We had just closed on our first house. We had plans. I thought they were mutual. But apparently she needed distance. Clarity. Space to decide what you want before what. Yes. Before we settle down. Before it's too late for a soul-searching escape with Marissa and her yoga instructor crush. That's not fair, she said, frowning. Which part? The trip? Or the part where you made this decision without me? She sighed hard. I knew you'd react like this. That's why I almost waited until everything was booked before I told you. That's when I understood. This wasn't a discussion. It was a declaration. She was going. And I was staying. I didn't stop her. I didn't beg her to reconsider. I drove her to the airport. Not out of affection but to keep the story straight. So she couldn't rewrite it later and claim I made it harder than it had to be. She looked polished, expensive. Like she was headed to brunch, not walking out on her marriage. Oversized sunglasses, linen blazer, designer suitcase. Casual glam. You okay? She asked as we pulled up. I'm fine, I said. You got your passport? She nodded, then hesitated. You're being really quiet. You're flying off with 2 women who treat commitment like a seasonal job, and you're surprised I'm not in a chatty mood? She rolled her eyes. This is why I needed space. You twist everything. It's not about cheating, she added quickly. No, I said. But trips like this open doors you swore you'd never walk through. She didn't answer. Just got out. I grabbed her suitcase, set it down. She kissed me on the cheek. Detached like I was an old friend, not her husband. I'll text when I land. You don't need to. She blinked. What does that mean? It means go find whatever you think you're missing. Just don't pretend this is about us. She didn't reply, just walked off. That night, I began making my own decisions. Quietly. Methodically. Like someone unscrewing the foundation bolts of a house that had already been vacated. I opened a new checking account. Rerouted my direct deposit. Cancelled our fall vacation and made sure the refund landed on my card. I updated billing info on every shared utility. Changed passwords, shifted subscriptions. I wasn't trying to end things yet. But I wasn't going to hold the rope if she was already drifting. By day 4 the post started. A wine glass on a sun-drenched balcony. Caption, lost in Lisbon. Finding clarity. Then came Seville. The itinerary changed by the day. Impulsive, aimless. Like they were chasing a feeling instead of a destination. Rooftop drinks, sandy feet, fairy lights, tapas, sunglasses, maxi dresses. She looked free. Untethered. And then came the photo. Group shot. Marissa. Lena. Ilya. 3 guys I didn't know. One had his arm around her waist. No tags. No names. Just, new friends, old souls. I stared at it for a long time. Then started saving screenshots. Not because I wanted to prove something to her, but to remind myself that I wasn't imagining it. She texted once that week. Hope things are good back home. We just got to Barcelona. The view is amazing. I didn't reply. Then Marissa posted a video. Beach lounge. Music in the background. Oilia barefoot, cocktail in hand, dancing lightly. The same guy from the photo stood beside her. Shirtless. Leaning in. Whispering. She didn't move away. I watched the clip more than once. Then saved it with the others. Still I said nothing. Nothing. Waited. And then, nearly a month later, she walked through the front door like nothing had happened. Luggage in hand. That same dazzling smile. It feels so good to be home, she said, stretching. You wouldn't believe the train delays in Italy. I stood by the kitchen island. Arms folded. She looked around. You moved some things. I had time. She stepped in, went for a kiss. I turned slightly. Her lips grazed my cheek. You're upset. No, I said. You're back. Isn't that what matters? She gave a shaky laugh. Okay, I know how it looked. But it wasn't like that. We just needed space. Looked like you found someone to share that space with, I said. He paused. So, you saw the posts. I saw enough. Oh, Ryan, she said. You know how those things are. People end up in photos. Doesn't mean anything. You weren't wearing your ring. Her face dropped. It felt safer not to. We were tourists. You know how standing out. I held up a hand. Stop. She dug into her suitcase and pulled out a small Vespa keychain. I got you something. You always said you wanted to go to Rome. I placed it on the counter. Then opened a drawer and handed her an envelope. Inside, a bank statement showing the account split. Transfer paperwork for her share of the house. A business card for the moving company I'd hired. She blinked. You're asking me to leave. You said you needed space. I made sure you had enough. Her voice cracked. All this. Over one trip. No, I said. Over a choice. One you made alone. She sat down, shaken. It was never meant to be permanent. I just needed time to think. To flirt your way across Europe. To pretend you were single again. What exactly were you expecting to come home to? You're blowing this out of proportion. You had a month to reach out, I said. All I got were sunsets and silence. I didn't sleep with him. But you thought about it. She didn't answer. You erased me the moment you walked into that airport, I said. You wanted freedom. Now you have it. But freedom costs something. Her eyes welled. So that's it. Just like that. I didn't answer. I just grabbed the duffel bag I'd packed and set it beside her. You can stay with Marissa. Or Lena. You have options. Her voice trembled. You're really ending this. I looked her in the eye. You already did. There was no fight, no explosion. Just a silence so heavy it pressed against the walls. By the end of the week she was gone. Marissa pulled up in her hatchback, barely said hello, helped her load the last of her things. Oilia moved through the house like a stranger, collecting photos, clothes, old memories. She left behind a half-used shampoo bottle and a tiny keychain no one wanted. She paused once in the doorway, looking back. "This still doesn't feel real," she whispered. "It is," I said, and didn't look up.